Welcome to ACC Crunch Time with your host, Patrick O'Brien. Welcome to another ACC Crunch Time here. I'm your host, Patrick O'Brien, back again on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon here. We're going to talk a little bit about a topic that I've been kind of looking forward to talking about, especially after this weekend. I want to talk a little bit about the Virginia Tech Hokies there. Come off a win against North Carolina on the road, dominating and embarrassing and shutting down an offense under Larry Fedora that's proven to be explosive, dominating the 34-3 win in Chapel Hill. I watched that entire game, and to be honest with you, I was impressed. Now, granted, UNC did give them some easy opportunities down in their side of the field. I think they turned the ball over twice inside the 20 or around there. But watching this defense, I have been impressed. And I thought this would be one of the first tests that the Hokies would have had this season here. And then I started doing some research on the Hokies there under Bud Foster for this season here, and I was kind of not surprised actually, when looking at the stats and looking at the scores here. They're off to a 4-1 start, but they rank in the top 20 in almost every category defensively. And I did a little research here earlier this morning here. I wanted to kind of see where they stood at this so far, why this team is off to a 4-1 start, and right now could be kind of the favorite if their defense can hold up like this. One of the favorites to win the Coastal now, especially when Miami lost to Florida State. Those two will battle off, and then they'll have Pittsburgh. But every other game that they kind of have, they should be favored in. And it's kind of a much easier schedule than others have in the Coastal. So would be surprised if the Hokies kind of take the Coastal Division if they can get by those two games there. But looking at my research here, I wanted to kind of go over a few stats of how impressive Virginia Tech has been this season so far. Total yards, they're only giving up 237.4 yards per game, which is third in the nation. On third down percentages, they only allow their opponents to convert 19.2% on third downs. That's second in the nation. On fourth down, granted, teams have had to go for about 11. They've had 11 attempts. They're 11.1% conversion rate. That's fourth in the nation. Much of that time has been because the team has been down, like Boston College, East Carolina, North Carolina, Liberty, stuff like that. They've been down, so they've had to get fourth down, but they've only converted about one attempt so far this season on the fourth down. They have 2 blocked kicks, which ranks 7th in the nation. They've only allowed 57 first downs, 57, 24 rushing, 26 passing, and 7 by penalties there. That ranks first in the nation with FBS rankings there. They have 7 interceptions, which ranks them 18th. Passing yards, they've been only giving up 132 yards per game. Against teams, Tennessee, that was the one game that I think they took and they learned against, and they did have some turnovers that kind of hurt them and everything like that. But going against schools like East Carolina, UNC, an offensive kind of school, they also played Boston College that has struggled on offense, but still only allowing 132 yards passing. It's pretty astonishing there. And then rushing yards, they only allowed 105, which ranks them 17th in the nation. And then my final stat I was looking at was the red zone. Opponents have had 11 opportunities. I've only converted 5 touchdowns and 3 field goals. This Hokies defense is swarming on their opponent's offense. They've been shutting down. I think they've been the most underrated kind of defense this season. I mean, the stats certainly back it up. But I don't think many saw, that the Hokies would be this good so early under Coach Fuentes. Now, they do have Bud Foster and everything. That was great. I think that was a great job of Virginia Tech keeping him where he is right there. I think he is the heart of that defense. He brings it. He loves doing that job. And you can see why he's one of the highest paid defensive coordinators in college football. Some other ones I was kind of looking at, I was doing my research earlier. They've only allowed 15 plays of 20 or more yards, 8 plays by 30 or more yards, and 4 plays of 40 or more yards this season so far through week 6. Now compare that to other schools in the ACC. Look at Louisville, 21 plays of 20 or more yards. You got Duke at 33, Pittsburgh 31. Syracuse and Florida State lead the ACC with 39 plays of 21 or more yards, and Florida State leads with 21 plays of 30 or more yards. And Florida State's ranked in the top 25, just like Virginia Tech here. Virginia Tech's defense has been solid. They've been far ways impressive there. And then one other stat that I mentioned, at 19.2 on third down conversion, that's been the lowest since 2000. The only one closer to that would be back in 2001 when they held on to 21.7% so far. With this, with Gerard Evans at offense, they have a quarterback that can move in the pocket, has connected, played exceptional, only hasn't turned the ball over, something that the Hokies have been kind of looking for quite some time now. Now they have it. They have a solid run game to get it done on the ground. They've been reducing points on offensive, but now that they don't have to rely on the defense, something they've had to do pretty much for the last couple of years under Coach Beamer, because that offense has not been was not impressive at all under Coach Beamer the last 3 or 4 years there. Now Coach Fuentes is putting up points. Now their defense, is in attack mode. They're looking to attack, looking to create turnovers, and again sacks here. Now this is a squad that right now you might not know the names of, but certainly could be coming up, moving up the draft boards on several NFL, scouts lists and everything, especially on the defensive line and the secondary. They've been awesome this year right there, and that's why I think the Hokies right now, I would pick them as my favorite to win the Coastal. I think the biggest game that they will be coming up will be against Miami, but that will be in Blacksburg and Lane Stadium on a Thursday night. And if you've never been on a Thursday night in Blacksburg, that place is nuts. It is one of the best places, not just for college, not just on Thursday nights for college football, but just overall. The fans will be rocking and rolling on that night. There's nothing like a cold, chilly Blacksburg, Virginia Tech game on Thursday night on national television. That game will be probably the biggest one that they have. Now they will have to play Pittsburgh, another team that has a chance and talent to compete for the Coastal, but after taking care of Carolina this past weekend, I see that the Hokies will be favored in almost every game that they will be playing. And if they keep up with it, especially on the defensive end, having that shutout against Boston College, 3 points last week, 17 against East Carolina, and everything like that. The only game that they kind of fell a little bit was against Tennessee. They put up 45 points, but I think that was kind of a teaching lesson for the Hokies there. And now they're back in full gear, ready to roll, and they'll be up going against Syracuse, an offense that can put up points but struggles defensively. I think that defense will be prepared. Obviously, it won't take anything. It'll be looking to shut down that passing game by the Orangemen. So that was kind of my little ACC crunch time that I really want to talk about this week with the Hokies there. They've been impressive. I've enjoyed watching them so far, and I think that Hokies defense is back, something that they've been wanting for, along with the offense that can produce points there. So that's my all things ACC crunch time in under 10 minutes here. Check back on the website for other updates and previews and other podcasts that we have coming this week. And again, I want to thank all our listeners for coming and joining us for all things ACC Crunch Time under 10 minutes here on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. And other than that, have a great week and have a great day here. And we're ready for some Week 7 college football.